pass today, just let me know when we get back to the station and we will do our best to get it back to you as soon as possible. If you do happen to drop something, just kind of look out what we are near so you can let me know back at the station. Lastly, if I am at a full incomplete stop, you're welcome to stand up if you want to get a better view of something or snap a photo. Just make sure you stay seated while we're on the move. Alright, now let's go find some animals out in Africa.
Animal Africa.
So we do have our East Africa field exhibit on the left-hand side, but don't worry, we will be looping back around, getting an even better view of that on the way back in. The greater flamingo lives in salt marshes, so they are adapted to be that light in color to stay cool in those really warm environments. We are a left-hand side. We have my Ellipsin water buck. We do have some youngsters in there right now. You can see a few laying down in the back and over on the right-hand side. And these guys have an adaptation of a built-in kind of oily coat acting like a wetsuit because their main predator is going to be large cats.
Deer. Enter up.
This kind of grayish lavender species here.
Wow.
And again, the more yellowy tan ones are the youngsters. So for this species, both the males and females have horns. That is a good indicator that they're going to have to compete for resources. And how they compete is by sparring. So they're going to kind of lock the notches on those horns of theirs, wrestle with their head until one or the other gives up. That's also why they have that coloration on their face. It's called a threat mask. Brown antelope here is our sable antelope. Next to the feeding trough. Up ahead we've got some youngsters. When this species has a baby, they're going to tuck it away for a few weeks, putting it in some stinky spots from predators. Another species that uses the same strategy is the Maasai giraffe. Here's a familiar face some of you may recognize. And yes, more babies. We've got two young ones in the boma here.
Giraffe.
This is Obi and Yoda. Now they look super teeny tiny, but on average, baby giraffes are born at about 6 feet tall. Now, they were off exhibit for the first little bit of their lives. It's been probably a little over a month that they've been in this boma here. When they were first out here, they were just high enough to that cement wall there. And look at, with Obi in the back, how much he kind of towers over it now. So they are growing very rapidly. Giraffe make great friends out in the wild because, for one, they're the watchtowers of the savannah. If you wave to the giraffes from here, they can see you. They've also, because they've got that great eyesight. They're also really messy eaters. Look at the ones feeding back there. They're dropping some food down below. That will act as a great snack for a friend later in the day. Maybe a gemsbok or sable antelope. They're going to pick up on those leftovers. They look so graceful as they move about. Until they start running. That just doesn't look as graceful as it. So again, out in this field we have Maasai giraffe in that other East African exhibit that we're going to pass on the way back in. We have been able to reintroduce certain species back into their native environments when they're endangered, but unfortunately that's not always the case. And with this species here, they come from Somalia, and due to war and other circumstances, we are not quite comfortable reintroducing them just yet. But in the meantime, we want to ensure on my left-hand side is the Cape buffalo. They are not going to camouflage very well, being that very dark color, but that's on purpose. They can be up to 2,000 pounds. They want to show off all that tone and definition of all the muscle they have to their predators. They also travel along in really big groups with lots of individuals close by. So that's why they're adapted to have those horns that grow inwards so that they don't harm anyone as they move along. Now that orange color sticks out to us, and it's pretty easy to see them, but their predators see in black and white. And on that grayscale, that orangey red color is going to blend in excellent to those nice green backgrounds where they live. They're also very just like the giraffe, they have really good eyesight. So they're pretty smart for hanging out up top here. They've got a good view of what's going on.
Feed giraffes. Đang ngồi đợi để được lên bong bóng bay. Kinh nghiệm của mình á là khi mình muốn đi tới đây thì mình nên chuẩn bị trước, nên mình muốn đi chơi cái gì thì mình nên mua vé trước ở trên mạng đi. Tại vì khi đi đến đây á, mình mua vé nó sẽ mắc hơn là mình order trên mạng. Giống như cái vé đi bong bóng này á, mình mua trên mạng chỉ có 12 đồng thôi, nhưng mà mình lại mình mua tới 18 đồng.
Eagle throughout the savannas of Africa. Now this bird is very tall and he stands taller than the grasses, so why would you fly when you can literally run straight up to that prey and you can stomp it to death? Now this bird is going to hunt prey such as small mammals, reptiles, and even venomous snakes. All those kicks you're seeing are in hopes of stomping on that prey and immobilizing it to then swallow it whole. Now as he's running around, you'll notice his wings going out kind of like a matador. That's going to help distract that prey so that if the snake were to strike at the bird, it will strike at the feathers. We got a good looking crowd out here today, dude. Can you tell them hello? Hi. You see these birds pick and choose all sorts of things that they want to imitate. The key point is that he's the one that's choosing, guys. I can make noises at him all day. He might not ever choose to pick those noises up, but let's say I walked by his house one day and I stubbed my toe. Yeah. I might make a sound afterwards that he thinks is really entertaining, and that sound he'll imitate forever. It's a good thing he doesn't do that, right? He's a good boy. Yes. He knows it too. You know, he has chosen to imitate some pretty unusual sounds. In fact, one of our trainers had the flu a couple months ago. Listen to what he picked up. Kusima, how's your cough? same time. Buddy, blow your nose. I can't tell you why he thinks that's fun and entertaining, but he does. I can tell you that he really likes the different animal sounds that we hear around here, right? And we have got some really amazing animal sounds. We hear the gorillas right next door. Sometimes we hear the cheetahs or the rhinos, and when we're really lucky, sometimes we even hear the lion. The teeny tiny lions, right? Those are the best kind. And you know that we're big animal fans. We're big bird nerds around here too. Christina's all-time favorite animal are the crow. Yeah, he's really good at that. Well, we do want to make sure that while we're showing off out here, that we take the time to say thank you to all of you guys. You are the ones that are funding our conservation all around the world. In fact, Christina here is such a big fan of all the work you're allowing us to do that he's come up with his very own cheer just for you guys. So, buddy, let's hear it. Your conservation fight song.